team and I are always dedicated to making sure that you all have the best possible products available. And we're constantly looking at ways to improve those products and the ingredients that go into them. We work with a very dedicated team, from our partners that grow our products to our finished product manufacturers, to ensure that they can continue to provide the absolute best of nature. We don't do that without direction, though. We do have help. That help is what we call our guiding principles. They go hand in hand with our corporate values and provide us and all of our partners with the set of rules that keep us aligned. Those principles start with our most basic requirement, and that is to inspire healthy living around the world by providing products that contribute to long-term health for all of the people who consume them. We do that by focusing on whole food, minimally processed ingredients that are as close to nature as possible. Meaning, we focus on starting with real food, specifically high-quality fruits and vegetables. But we also need to make sure that the products that we put together are exciting enough for people to want to share. We aren't just a company that's worried about providing great products. Our founder's vision is to provide a lasting, stable company to help as many people as possible achieve their goals. And the product team contributes to that by ensuring that the products that we offer are a good fit for our partners and our customers, and are competitive and fit with our mission. We also have a strong belief in science. We rely on clinical research done on our products to ensure that we stay on track. We have over 40 published papers on our products and continue to do more and more research to support any change or any new products. I don't know of any other company that has that amount of research. And one of the reasons that we're able to do that, to have that much clinical support for our products, is because we intentionally have a narrow, focused product line. We don't believe in having hundreds of products that may have a benefit for some very specific group of people, or that may have a very specific benefit for people. We believe in having a small product line focused on general well-being for all adults. This narrow product line also allows us to have a very similar product in all 26 countries that Juice Plus is sold around the world. We do have some specific differences in product based on regional needs or regulatory differences around the world, but the core capsule products are so close globally that we can speak about them the same way. And lastly, not because we think it's the least important, but rather because we consider it to be the foundation upon which all of the other principles must rest, is quality. It's what we wake up thinking about every day, and what we consider the most important thing when we're working with our growers, our ingredient suppliers, our drying and manufacturing partners, and even our packaging suppliers. So that's a little bit about what we are as a company and what the product team focuses on every single day. But now let's talk a little bit more specifically about the products that you guys have, starting with the capsules. So some of the questions that I get most frequently are around our process, from how we grow our produce to how it's dried and how we can fit all of those powders into those small capsules. So let me give you just a little bit of insight into that process. It all starts with great produce. One of my favorite parts of the job that I do every day is being able to visit our farms and work very closely with the growers that produce our amazing fruits and vegetables. I'm not sure if you've heard, but there's an opportunity for some of you all to be a part of a visit to one of our farming partners next summer. And if you do get that opportunity, you'll be able to see for yourself just how amazing these folks are. For those who won't get that chance, I can share that they are some of the most amazing, family-oriented, quality-focused people that I have ever had the opportunity to interact with. Many of them have been growing for Juice Plus for decades, and we've worked with them to optimize their systems to ensure the highest quality produce for our products. One of the main questions that I get is, if your produce is so great, why aren't our products certified organic? And the answer to that question is that we are much more concerned about supporting our growers and providing you with the best possible products at the lowest price than we are about having a piece of paper that doesn't actually show that a product is safe or effective. When people ask that question, usually what they're really asking is, are your products safe? And we can certainly answer that question with a resounding yes. We know that our products are safe because we've used them in so many clinical studies that have oversight from independent scientific review boards. We have a history of safe use in our customers, many of whom have been taking Juice Plus for over 2 decades without any adverse issues. And we have third-party certification that verifies that what we say about our products is true. That third-party certification that we have is from NSF, a company that has dedicated itself to being a world leader in food supplement certifications around good manufacturing practices, quality, and safety. They're one of the only third-party certifying organizations that routinely audits the manufacturing facilities, the formulas, the ingredients, and performs periodic testing of the products to ensure continued compliance. Many other certifications, including organic certifications, rely on only paper audits to verify that people are doing what they say, and that can lead to fraud in unscrupulous companies. Our NSF certification verifies that everything that is on our labels is in our products. Everything that's in our products is listed on our labels, and that we have no harmful levels of contaminants in our products. Essentially, what that means is that they certify that we have high quality, safe products that you can feel comfortable sharing with you. Another question that I get frequently is how our powders are made. Do we remove the fiber, the salt, the sugar? As you might remember, our second guiding principle is all about providing whole food, minimally processed ingredients. And minimally processed for us means that all we're doing is removing the water. How we accomplish that varies a little bit for different fruits and vegetables because they contain different amounts of water and other things to start. But fundamentally, it goes like this. We start with really great, fresh, ripe produce. Our growing partners have already spent a ton of time worrying over that produce, ensuring that it has enough nutrients in the soil, that there aren't any damaging microbes to contaminate the produce, and making sure that they are only putting onto the produce that which is absolutely necessary in order to ensure the quality and only things that will be safe for their family and ours. You know, I think people sometimes forget that because we work with small to medium-sized family farms, the farmers and their families are the first ones to be subjected to whatever is done on their farms. Their livelihood rests on the quality of their produce that they provide, and their family's health rests on the things that they do on their farms. That means that they are the last ones that would ever put anything onto their land or into the air around their land that would harm themselves, their kids, their grandkids, or even their pets. They worry about the water that is used to irrigate the farms, what happens to the runoff from their farms. They worry about retaining the nutrients in their soil naturally and naturally controlling pests to ensure their produce doesn't get damaged. So, now that we've established that we have amazing produce and that our farmers are taking fantastic care with that produce, what happens next? Well, even though you can eat the produce straight from the field, and I often do, we do clean it. We go through a 3-step cleaning process to ensure that it's free from dirt, bugs, and I think people forget that nature's very dirty. There are things that from the skies, there are things that happen that oftentimes create dirt on the produce. So we do go through that cleaning process. And once the produce is cleaned thoroughly, we either use it within a few short days, 3 at the most, or we freeze it within hours of harvest. The freezing process that we use is called individual quick freezing. That process almost instantly takes the temperature of each individual piece of produce to well below freezing to lock in the nutrients so that we can have great, nutritious produce available for drying throughout the year. If you know much about farming, you know that there are cycles to when certain fruits and vegetables are planted, when they're grown, harvested, but we also need to ensure that we have high quality powders all year long. That IQF process allows for that and makes it much easier to manage our inventory and to continue to support our amazing growing partners. We store that frozen produce until we're ready to use it. And another benefit of freezing the produce individually is that it allows us to naturally thaw it so that we don't damage the produce before we're ready to turn it into those great powders. So that brings me to the drying process. Like I said before, it varies a little bit from fruits to vegetables and even within those categories because different produce has different levels of water to start. A piece of kale has different levels of water than a grape. Different levels of water also require different components that could affect the drying process and the nutrients within that produce. What I will tell you is that we take great care to ensure that we're not damaging the nutritional components of the produce excessively. This is the part that we work on most often. Time there is new technology or improvements to existing technology, we evaluate that to see if it would help any of our fruits and vegetables. We also do as much as we can to reduce and eliminate what are called excipients from our powders. Excipients are common added ingredients that don't have any nutritional value to speak of, but are included in many powders because of their ability to improve the physical characteristics of the powder. Essentially, they're added so that the powders don't clump up into bricks and are able to flow freely into a finished product, like a capsule. For us, it's important to have as much whole food as possible, so we work really hard to mitigate the need for these excipients by combining different fruits and vegetables together before we dry them and adding different parts of fruits and vegetables than most do to further help. Once we have those powders dried, they're stored in controlled environments that protect them from degradation until they are blended with our unique combination of vitamins and other plant nutrients and put into our capsules. And that leads me to another question that I get sometimes. Why do we add anything besides fruit and vegetable powders to the capsules? And the answer is a combination of things, but ultimately, the reason is that it works best that way. We started off in 1993 as one of the very first companies to even contemplate the idea of nutrition from whole food. Back then, in order to be taken seriously in an environment that was all about high-dose single vitamins, we added some select vitamins that were already present in the produce that's included in the blends, but at levels that varied greatly depending on the levels in the produce itself. The amounts that we added were enough to maintain a consistent label claim regardless of the variation from the produce. And we published our first clinical study in 1994 and showed great results and have continuously used clinical research as our guide since then. We do make changes occasionally to our products, but only after we've done our research to prove that any change is only improving the benefits of the product. We've also consistently shown through our research that there is some magic in the blend of whole foods and plant-based nutrients. When we look at the results of our research compared to similar research done using multivitamins, we consistently have more robust and more reliable results. The scientific conclusion that we have there seems to be a synergistic effect between the fruit and vegetables and the plant nutrients. We like to call this the orchestra effect. Just like a single violin is beautiful to listen to, so can single nutrients have benefit. But when you combine all of the instruments of an orchestra together, you get a much more rich, bigger, more complete sound. People have also noticed that we don't have the exact same formula in all countries. And some people wonder if the clinical research is valid for each of those formulas. As I mentioned previously, we do a lot of behind-the-scenes research on all of our formulas and do test different formulas in different clinical settings to show that the small differences that we have between our regional products don't make a difference in the benefits of Juice Plus. So speaking of some regional differences, let's talk about one that's a little bit more noticeable than the capsules, and that's Complete. There are more noticeable differences in this product around the world for a variety of reasons. Probably foremost in that is that in Europe and Israel, the product was formulated as a meal replacement product. And because of this, there are specific requirements that we have to meet that might look different than Complete in other regions where we've taken a slightly different approach to the product. For a meal replacement product, we're required to have a certain level of very specific vitamins, calories, fat, and other nutrients. Each and every ingredient in Complete is there to serve a purpose in maintaining the meal replacement status. The sugar is there to make sure that we are meeting the energy requirements. The sunflower oil is there to ensure that we're meeting the fat requirements, and specifically the linoleic acid requirement. We also have the nutrients in the amounts and the forms that they are in, specifically because that's what's required for a meal replacement. So just to let you guys know about that, we are currently working on some additions to the shake family that we think will allow for more people to be able to find a great way to use our products. But as you all probably know, it takes quite some time to get through the registration process with the ministry in Israel. I can assure you, however, that we have a dedicated team, including myself, that responds within 24 hours to any questions or requests from the ministry about all of our new product registrations. Not just the Completes, but our Omega, all of our products. I can tell you that we have some amazing things to announce very soon, but in the meantime, please know that we are doing as much as possible to hurry that process. Now, back to the Complete that we have for just a minute. One of the main questions that we get is why we use soy as our source of protein. And there are two very important reasons for that. The first reason is that our company is committed to vegetarian products. So that limits us to using only vegetarian protein sources. And as far as vegetarian protein sources go, soy is the best. It is the only complete vegetarian protein available. And by complete, I mean that it has a complete amino acid profile and is highly digestible in humans. There's something called a PDCAS, or a protein digestibility corrected amino acid score. That's just a long word, or long words that essentially mean that your body can take in the protein, can digest it fully, and can fully utilize the entire range of amino acids. And soy has the only score of 1.0, which is a perfect score in the vegetarian realm. All of the other vegetarian proteins have to be used in combination with other proteins in order to reach that same level of complete amino acids. And that means that your body is not able to turn those proteins into efficient use for all of the things that your body needs. beyond the fact that soy is a complete protein, it is safe. One of the things that I hate about our current environment is that people can put anything onto the internet. It doesn't have to be fact-checked. It doesn't have to be true in any way. And so people have been able to put misinformation on the internet about soy and the safety of soy. And what we actually know through looking at the entire breadth of literally thousands of papers over hundreds of years on soy is that it is safe. And what we have is a clinical study that was done in ovarian cancer survivors that was overseen by a medical advisory board and showed no negative effects of the soy from our products. So you should be very confident that not only is soy the best possible vegetarian protein for your body to digest and use, but also that it is absolutely safe for all people to take. So I hope that you guys have all found this information helpful and know that the entire global product groups are dedicated to ensuring that you have the best possible products to take and share with your loved ones. From all of us around the world, thank you, and we wish you a great rest of the year.
חברים יקרים, אנחנו נצא עכשיו להפסקה בת 15 דקות. אתם מוזמנים בינתיים לשוטט במרחב